the green room.
I'm going to start this again. Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction. You know the name of the podcast. I'm not going to say it. Welcome to the podcast. I had my mic muted, and I looked right at it, and I said, don't forget to unmute your mic. So this will get somewhat edited out. Maybe not. I don't know. It has to be because it's dead air. But like I was saying, Jack's not here, so I have my buddies from the Music Relish podcast that come in, and they throw nothing but fastballs, and Lou is a fastball pitcher tonight. Throwing thunder.
Feeling good. Arms feeling good.
Feeling good. I forgot to say, what's that? Go ahead.
My green room was becoming a panic room. I'm like, I can't hear anything. I snapped my fingers to make sure I wasn't blanking out.
And I forgot to say, welcome to the podcast. I think I did. I don't know. Hey, so before we get started, I got a phone call from my brother today, Colin McLean, one of the producers, I guess, of this podcast. And one of the kids he works with is the son of a friend of ours. And the other son of a friend of ours has his own band. And so I had mentioned it, and he said, yeah, they're really good. They got a great style, and they don't have a manager, but they're really good. And so I was like, all right, he's like, you should be the manager. I said, I can't be the manager of a band from Boston when I'm down in Boca Raton. Although I guess, you know what, today, I guess it's easier than ever to have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But, it's interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll have them on maybe next week. Okay. Give a little interview so they have something to throw out to their fans. They have a podcast interview. But so the brother that works with my brother, he sent me a link. They're on Apple Music. They have a song on Apple Music, and I listened to it, and I said, you know what? Shit ain't bad.
Ah, good. Cool.
I'm like, this shit ain't bad. It's different. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, da, which is good. Sometimes that's good, right?
Yeah.
So let me, told them I'm going to play the song, which I don't really do this, but it's their song, so I don't think I'm going to get any copyright violations. They're an indie band.
Free publicity, kids. Come on.
Yeah. They're an indie band right now out of Winthrop, Massachusetts, which is right on the border of Boston. It's pretty much, it could be Boston with 3 beaches. It's right there, right on the borderline of East Boston. So the name of the group is The Pointe. Pointe.
All right. Good name.
Yeah. Interesting. So I get this, and I'm like, you know what? Let me give this a listen. I was like, oh, shit. So I'm going to play the song. Lou, you're a music guy.
Yeah.
This could be a critique, or it could be, hey, I think it's a good tune. So let me play it. The name of the song is Runaway, and you can find this on Apple Music. Might be on other platforms, but he sent me the Apple Music link. So here we go. Runaway by The Pointe. Let's play it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You say things, the way that you smile, I'm be around. 'Cause when you come my way, I'm flying high. I lose my mind. Little girl, we're gonna run away. We're gonna run away. I'm tired of all the ones who always say you got no time to waste. You better find your place now, babe. I think I found my way.
Oh, there you go.
Very
Runaway
nice.
by The Point, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I got a lot of good things I could say about that.
Start saying them.
okay.
First thing, I have a quick the opening riff, and I know Mark Smith would appreciate this. It has a style council,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of, which I like. Mark Smith, your buddy, my buddy, both of us, and I don't know about you, but I love the style council.
I like them. Yep.
Yeah, so
It's
that
a-
kind
it's
of starts
it's
off
pop
like
soul. Yeah.
that.
It's kind of a pop soul, little funk. It's funny because I was wondering what to expect. I was expecting something heavier for some reason. Although, do you know how old they are?
Yeah,
Are they pretty young?
20s,
Mid
yeah,
20s. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
early 20s.
Okay. I noticed it's funny. A lot of the younger musicians that I'm hearing in these younger bands, it's a kind of a mellower sense, not so heavy. I don't know what the rest of the material sounds like, but for some reason I was expecting something heavier. But I was pleasantly surprised. Nothing wrong with being heavy, but I like the little vocal things they were doing there. The chorus, I mean, it's not like with the Dick Clark show had a catchy chorus too, but it does, that's the hook, vocal
Yeah.
hook. I will say this, so just when I said the song might be going on too long, they ended it, so that's good.
Exactly. I thought the same thing.
Okay, yeah, it's like I think okay, they made their point with the song. Nothing I liked about it, and it's something I'm noticing in some of the lyrics of these other bands and younger bands, like bedroom pop, and I think it's that kind of genre, sort of. The lyrics are there's a lot of desperation and a lot of dark, almost kind of down feelings. This is a very up kind of thing, I'm not gonna say it's a positive message, like that, not that heavy, but I like what they were saying there. It was it's kind of lighthearted in a way. There's love in there, but it's not overwrought or it's not teeter tottering on the negative side of it.
Right.
But yeah, nice, very good, man.
Uh,
I'd definitely, if I were you, I'll give you my advice, but have you heard more of their stuff?
No, but I'm definitely going to. And
Yeah,
I
worth
definitely,
checking out.
yeah, I definitely want to. I think they're worth getting involved with, even on a fringe, anything to help them out type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised when I heard it.
Mhm.
And it's you know what? It's something also that my daughter would listen to. She's 18.
Right.
I'm 58 and I'd listen to it.
Yeah. No,
So-
I thought so too. Wasn't just for young people, whatever. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily strictly generational to one.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, and I can imagine, I'm sure they sound great live.
Yeah.
Because that type of music, and I'm not sure if that's their niche, their genre,
Right.
but that type of music sounds good live.
Yeah.
It's easy to listen to live.
Yeah.
It just creates a nice vibe. I think you said that.
Yeah,
You know?
you can move to it. It's got they call it a danceable beat. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, The Point.
Yeah. Good name for a band.
Yeah, and the song is "Runaway." I'm definitely going to get a little more information on them. I actually, you know what? If one of them is available or a couple of them, maybe I'll bring them on next week and just kind of do an interview with them, you know? Yeah. And listen, this podcast isn't lighting the world on fire, but it has a little following, but it's not even that. It's the fact that they can use that as a send out type thing. You know, they can send that out to people, say, hey, listen, you know, we were on this podcast. I don't want any publicity from you know, I'm all about helping other people. I've always said this about this podcast. I don't need the money. I'm not in it for the money. Right. I'm in it for the pure love of music and talking about music and helping with music. Listen, the Music Relish podcast. I mean, look at how many podcasters would promote another music podcast like weekly.
Really, it's true. I mean, we do appreciate it, and we gave it back. You know,
absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
But like I said, it's the same thing. You know, when we started doing this, like it's because we love music. It's fun. You know, we got. I don't know if Perry and I've ever played any. No, we do. Like we lead in to some of our shows. The one lead in is a song we wrote. So it's got, you know, we got some stuff, you know, it's rough, but we're gonna do that radio show at one point. We're gonna play some of our old funny stuff. It's excellent. It'll be neat. It'll be neat. I'm sure they would. I'm sure the Point would love to be on your show. I mean, one thing, you know, if they want to use it for promotional reasons, you have a very professional look to your thing, so it'll look good on film, so to speak. So,
sure.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Sure, and you know, listen, I'll bring you on if you want to talk. It doesn't matter to me. The more we can get out of them and the more they can talk about the band, I think the better. So I will probably, this is what, Wednesday? I'll definitely be sending a text out tonight after the show telling them that I played the song and gave them, you know. And listen, this isn't even like I'm doing a favor. I genuinely like that song. Yeah. I genuinely like the sound. You know,
you're like Mary the K now or something. You're gonna be breaking bands nationally. This
is
your way to become the next Irvin Azoff.
Well, I think the first we broke a band. Jack and I think it was during the worst names, as we were talking about worst names for a band, and I found this band from Japan called the Bathtub Shitters. And I found two of their songs. I might be the only person in America that ever played those over, you know, any type of platform. It's fucking horrible.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Look at, they came up with the name.
I gotta look them up now.
Oh yeah. They came up with the name before they even got the band together.
There you go. Yeah.
They like the name. Bathtub Shitters. These Japanese dudes. So they go and they put a band together just to use the name. Fucking horrible. It's like that screaming and
yeah. So
this might be the second band that I broke.
Right.
I'm sure nobody played the Bathtub Shitters.
You could probably play their whole album and never hear about it.
You know what? I'm going to see if they have more tracks, and I'm definitely going to push as much as I can. And listen, for the people that don't know, Lou's a music guy. Lou's a musician. Lou, you know about producing, you know about engineering, you know a lot about the music, and I'm sure I could tell by your critique that you were sincere, because, you know.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
You can tell when somebody's like, oh, they were great, and wow, yeah, that sounded good, but you legitimately had something to say, and it was good. Again, they're young dudes, they're only going to get better.
Yeah. They're crafty, you know, there's some definitely thought went into it. I'm curious.
Yeah, a little mature. It had a little bit of maturity to it, to the production of it, and I liked it.
Some nice vocal mixing effects in the stereo pan there.
Exactly. So that was, again, go to Apple Music and download "Runaway" by The Point.
Runaway.
And I will be pushing them in future shows, hopefully interviewing them and seeing. Looking forward to following their career, because
I'll produce their first album.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
For nothing.
Let's get in. Well,
I'm sure. One thing, I have the ears, but I don't have the technology know-how.
Yeah.
I would need an engineer, man. I'm like, you know. I know what I could want, but listening to what they're doing, I'm like, yeah, it was really cool. But
Yeah, I'd like to know who. Then that's one of the questions I went asking. Who produced that song?
yeah,
You
self-produced,
know.
recorded at home. I mean, it's easy enough. Anyone
All
can do
right.
it now.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kids can do that today.
yeah.
Like, imagine if we had that technology. I might have actually thought about picking up an instrument.
Hmm.
I always wanted to play the bass.
There you go.
I just
That works.
never. Nah, not now.
And then-
58. My hands are all beat up
No,
from
yeah,
working dogs for 30 years. I
Right.
can't be working those muscles on
I
my
hear ya.
fingers.
I'm working with cardboard boxes and lifting and all the kinds of stuff. I use the Penetrex and all the liniment stuff.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
What's next? CBD? Whatever it is. CBCGB?
I don't think that would work. It's all over the place. I heard mixed things. People say it didn't do anything, didn't help you
Yeah.
sleep, didn't ease your pain, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But, all right. On with the show. So, hey, I found out last night that I'm going to see on October 15th in Fort Lauderdale, going to see Yes.
You are.
Yeah.
Wow.
We,
Who's-
what's that?
I'm sorry. Who's playing bass?
Not even sure. Haven't had a chance. I just found out last night, and
I think I heard of the guy. I can't remember his name, but okay.
yeah,
He's worthy. He's worthy.
I'm sure. Yeah. So my son got back from college, and he got a job teaching, and a kid that he was friends with for his whole time at college. He met him up there. He had called him up, and long story short, he's like, "Hey, is your school hiring?" Kid got the job in like 3 days.
Nice.
So they lived in north of us, like 3 hours north of us. This kid did. So school's right down the street. So he got into this, like, what am I going to do? And we said, well, my son asked, and we said, sure. So he comes down, he stays with us. We have plenty of room. My daughter just went off to college. So,
Right.
so his parents came down and they helped him get his stuff together, and it's beautiful, nice people. The dad, kind of a music guy, and we're telling him no rent, doesn't have to pay for food, nothing, just save his money. These guys are going to get an apartment together. Let them save their money. We're okay with that. We're
Get it
okay.
going.
So, so the father evidently was like, "Hey, does Scott like Yes?" And the kid asked me last night. I go, "Yeah, I like Yes." Well, my dad wants to get you a ticket. He's going to get us tickets and David a ticket. And okay, all right, yeah, shit, yeah,
Sure.
So, yeah. Which will lead into the second part of the show, which is concerts. We're going to talk about concerts from A to Z and how many you can fill in the alphabet.
You'll have Y covered already.
Well, there you go. Y was always sketchy with me, so I
Was
let
it
me
really?
jump ahead. Yeah,
I got one.
I'll get to that when we get to that, right?
All right.
So, but I want to start off with 5 favorite Elton John songs, and 5 has been my number lately. For some reason, I like 5s.
All right.
I don't know
why.
why.
I like number stuff. I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
why you
5s. I
do
think
something.
10s can be too much
Mhm.
sometimes. I like 5s. That really makes you have to think, right?
Yeah.
If you ask somebody, what's your 5 favorite Rolling Stone songs, they really have to think about it.
Oh yeah.
So 5 came up, and I kind of like this little theme, so I'm going to run with it until the wheels fall off. Who knows? So let's go through our 5 favorite. Now, last time we did this, it was, who did we do? It was
albums.
albums, right?
Albums. Yeah.
No, it was Tom Petty songs.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
Albums was-
we didn't have one that matched.
No,
which
that's
was
right.
interesting.
Yeah.
You would think, right? Because of so many hits. So I don't know. I think we're probably going to overlap. All right, you gave us an over-under last time. I think you said 2, right?
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
So what's your over-under? Was that 10 or was that 5? Top 10, top 5?
It was
I
5. I
don't know.
think it was 5.
It was 5.
Yeah.
So how many do you think we're going to match?
I'm gonna say 2 again.
All right, 2 out of 5. All right. So give me your number 5.
Number 5 is Daniel from "Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player."
Oh.
No, of his nicer, mellower song. That's one I've always liked. I had a
Yeah.
brother, his middle name was Dan, and we used to call him Kim Dan, and it's reminiscent.
Okay.
A sentimental thing, and it's a beautiful song. It's a very beautiful melody. Well, I mean, most of his stuff is rather beautiful melodically, but that's always a nice one. I like it. The chord structure, the harmonic structure, everything. It's a really easy loping beat, very breezy song, but then nicely sentimental, not maudlin or too gooey. But that's one that might be the only mellow one on here. But yeah, that was my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, my number 5 is, pull this up. Is Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters.
Oh, great. That almost made my list.
That's such
That
a
is a
great
great one.
song, right?
You know what album that's from? I don't recall.
Uni something.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it was from. No, that's the label. Let me see the album. It was on.
Oh yeah, Uni was the label. Yeah,
That was the label.
Tumbleweed Connection.
Let's see. Honky Chateau. Yeah, Honky Chateau.
Okay.
Yeah, when he has the round glasses on, it's kind of a 45-degree angle down on top.
Yes.
Kind of what do you call that? Like an old film type
Film
picture.
noir.
The yellowish. Yeah, Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters, 5 minutes of fucking great song.
It is. It really is. It's
The
great
lyrics,
composition.
yeah, it's just 5 minutes of great song, which is probably one of the reasons it didn't really take off on AM radio because it was a 5-minute song.
Yeah, and yeah. Well, you'd have to condense it. Well, it's just that type. It's a more serious composition. I think the different pieces, on an album, your listening sound great, but on the radio, maybe it was a little too. It's kind of cinematic in a way, but
So that album actually had on Honky Cat, right?
Yep.
It has
Right.
I Think I'm Gonna Kill Myself, Rocket Man, Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters, Salvation. So it's a pretty good album.
have you ever heard William Shatner's version of Rocket Man?
Who hasn't? And who wants to again?
I think you need to see it once.
You have to see it at least once. That's right.
But still, you're like,
Oh yeah.
beyond the
yeah.
preposterous and the bizarre.
All right, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is from Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Writing.
Really?
I've always liked that song. It's guitar driven
Wow.
for
yeah.
Elton Johnson, but it's clean guitar. It's a very almost kind of jazzy guitar. It seems to be about their partnership, Bernie Taupin and Elton, unless we're using a metaphor for another relationship. Will we still be writing in approaching years? But it's very melodic, a great guitar solo. I don't know if that was the original core band that he worked with up until that point. Great band, by the way.
The Elton John Band.
Yeah. The
That's what they
guitar,
were called.
yeah, it's a very clean guitar, but it's a very melodic song. Not reggae-like, but it's almost islandy in a kind of way. But that's an oddball song for him, but I always liked it.
Islandy, unlike Island Girl.
Yes, yeah, very much unlike Island Girl. Yeah,
That's
when
not on my
he
list.
lost me then when Rock of the Westies. I got it
Not
for
on my
Christmas.
list. Yeah.
I got it for Christmas. I'm like, oh man, can Santa bring this one back?
But I like the outside the box call. I like that. Outside the box, right? And not one of his better known songs, right?
No, and my others are pretty well known. I never had every album, but they're great songs. But that was just one that always stuck out,
All right.
stuck in my head.
My number 4 is Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word.
Interesting.
Just love that song, man. It's just a heavy song.
It's a heavy song. Yep. That's going more to wait. That was in later 70s, maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot to
yeah.
put the hold on. That is off of the singles part of Blue Moves.
Blue. Okay.
Yeah, Blue Moves,
76.
76, yeah.
76.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a top in Elton John composition, because I think at one point, I think going into the 80s, he did other things with Tim Rice and other writers, but they got back again.
It's Bernie Taupin.
Is it?
Definitely
Okay.
Bernie Taupin, yeah. Yeah.
What a writer.
Yeah, you know, they had a unique way of doing things. He would write the lyrics. No, he would write the lyrics and send them to Elton John. Elton John would put the lyrics to music.
Yeah, right.
Which is kind of backwards, isn't it? Usually the music, and then you kind of add the lyrics to the beat. And
yeah.
So how difficult would that be to put these lyrics to music?
If you use that to set the tone, and the rhyming rhythm structure, like usually you have a piece of music.
Yeah.
And fit the, like I said, fit the words accordingly. But interesting. Huh.
There's guys that I've seen that, like Bono, he'll hear say it's a beautiful day. And they just kind of mumble and they throw out these little one lines, and then they kind of piece it together. It's a beautiful day. You're writing to the music, make it fit to the music.
Yeah.
So how fucking brilliant was Elton John to be able to take lyrics and then write the music around the lyrics?
Around that, yeah. I guess that's the inspiration. Just probably the theme of the language and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of great language. If you read some of these lyrics aside, they read great. I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. Read it by itself. You need the music to it. It'll just be rather simple things. But like those words, it reads like probably prose or poetry.
And I think that probably explains why Elton John, if you think about it, Elton John has in some of his songs some of the fucking hottest lyrics to understand what he's saying. Perfect example, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. Right?
Yeah.
Try to follow those lyrics. He spits them out so fast in certain points.
Right.
That you just can't, you have to look at the lyric sheet. Rocket Man. I never fucking got the burning on the fumes of... Right?
I thought I said vagabond or something.
It's not me.
No, it's not. I'm like to a lot of lyrics sometimes. It sounds more like a sound than an actual...
burning up the fumes forever long or something like that.
Right.
I never fucking got... But that's... If you listen to his lyrics on those songs, maybe the earliest songs, some of them are like, what the fuck did he just say? But it sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. It fits. But Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is one of those songs. Go listen to it again and just try to, if you haven't already, 45 years later, whatever it is.
Yeah, right. 50.
Some of them, I can't figure them out until I go and read them. And then I'm like,
I know that my old man's a junkie and a barrel full of monkeys, and my old lady, she don't care. I know that part.
Yeah.
My sister looks cute with a handful of grease in her hair. That took me a long time to figure that one out. I don't know, haze in her hair,
That's like, what is it? Pink Floyd, Dirty Girl. Ooh, I need a dirty woman. I need a dirty girl.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what the fuck he was saying there for the longest time. I need to get around.
And another well-known is Mellencamp's Jack and Diane. Hair down the hair to Diane, one run out of shady tree. I was like, I don't know what he's saying there. I don't think I want to know at this point.
Tom Petty,
Michael
American
Scott
Girl.
Everything.
Yeah. Actually, the greatest of all, I guess, is Manfred Mann, Blinded by the Light. I guess that is the epitome of misquoting words, wrapped up like a douche.
I fucking hate that version. I hate it. The sophomore year of my high school, that came. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, did he say douche just to say douche?
Just to say douche. Yeah.
Come on. You're gonna be vulgar. Just be creative about it. Yeah.
All right. What's your number three?
What made him? What made that the Earth band as opposed to the Manfred Mann band? Was it? What made it earthy? Was it ecological themes? I don't know. Biodegradable douches.
Even before that, before its time, he was ahead of his time.
Yeah,
that Manfred Mann was ahead of his time.
We're on number three.
Number three, yeah.
Number three. Country Comfort from Tumbleweed Connection.
Wow,
I love that song.
Really going deep, yeah.
I love
deep cuts.
They were influenced by the band a lot. I mean, the song "Leave On" was inspired by Levon Helm's name alone, if nothing else. But that was that early '70s Tumbleweed Connection. I don't know what year that was. 72 maybe. Right. It's almost like an American sound. But great arrangement on that too. Yep.
I'm going straight up well-known song with number 3. Number 2 will also be number 1. Might be. No, it's a known song, so no deep cuts for me. Number 3 is "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road." It's just a hard song not to like.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not a song that I turn off when I hear it on the radio all these years later.
Yep.
You know, if you look at his albums, you'll see like what was the hit off of Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboys?
Shit. Was there one?
There was
I thought
one.
it wasn't Tower of Babel or Babel. Well, I don't know.
It was, and it's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboys.
Cowboy.
People always say Cowboys. Like,
No, it's singular.
yeah, it's singular. So,
So yeah, there was a hit off that album though, right?
yeah, and actually the song that came off that is my number 1, so I'm going to save that.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Good
I was
job.
kind of
Number
putting it together. I'm like, wait a minute.
Shit.
Yeah. So my number 3 was "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road." Again, great song.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
another song where you can't really figure out what he's saying in a couple of verses, you know?
Right.
You
Yeah.
eventually do. All right, what's your number 2?
Number 2, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
There you go.
Great song. Great rock
Like,
and roll
You can't
song.
go wrong with these. You really
No,
can't.
no. I like it. It's got an edge to it. You know, a lot of his songs are not so much guitar driven. But that's got a lot of good guitar
Oh,
on it.
that fucking song
Great
pumps
beat.
you up.
It really does. It's a great
Yeah.
rock and roll. He's a great rock and roll piano player.
Yeah.
He said one thing. No, he said, "I'm not a great piano player, but I'm a damn good rock and roll piano player." So
There
that
you
was
go.
one of those things. But that's him playing on. We reviewed the Jackson Brown record for Everyman on Music Relish, and he's on the song "Redneck Friend." It's Barrel House, doing the Jerry Lee Lewis stuff on the keys, just and Banger Gone. That's him playing piano.
Oh, that's right. You see it in the
T-Rex,
video.
yeah.
See him in the video, yeah.
But
No credit to that either.
right,
Like,
right, no credit, yeah,
You
nope.
just kind of watched. First time I saw it, I went, "Is that fucking Elton John?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
He's got a goofball name on the Jackson Brown record, like the stuff George Harrison used to do.
Yeah.
Angelo Mysterioso or whatever. But he's got a funny Johnny Tumbleweed name or something like that.
I used to stay home some Saturdays when I was younger, and you knew that the Saturday morning cartoons were over when you heard "It's Soul
Yes.
Train."
Yeah.
The cartoons were over. That was
That's
like
it.
they fucking dropped that. Don Cornelius, that fucking genius, knew
Right.
just how to market that, where to put it, how to
yeah.
fucking put it out there. And I actually watched the episode with Elton John. There was very few white
Yes.
artists
Yes.
that came on.
Yep.
Can you name another white artist that was on
That was
Soul
on
Train?
Soul Train.
Very, very popular white artist.
I was thinking in the disco era. I thought maybe not KC and the Sunshine Band, but
No.
with Bowie.
Yep.
Bowie. Okay, Golden
Bowie.
Years doing from that era.
Yep.
No,
Yeah. I
great-
saw
great
that
placement for
episode
it.
too.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite Bowie period.
That's when he was in, I believe it was the Young Americans, when he did his
Think so.
Blue-Eyed Soul,
Yeah.
which, again,
Yep.
fucking Desert Island. Give me that
Mhm.
fucking album.
Yeah.
It is definitely, if not my favorite, it's the top 5 favorite fucking album. What a great, I've said this 100 times on this podcast.
Mm.
Young
I'm not the-
Americans is
Yeah.
such a fucking great album, man.
Yeah.
Start
Great-
to finish.
Great band too.
Except when he does Across the Universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
don't like the Beatle version.
I know. That's
I'm-
like
I'm-
a booger
yeah.
on Mona Lisa. You know what I mean? It's like,
did.
fucking, you missed that brush stroke, buddy.
Why?
But
Why? Why'd you do that?
and he does it across the like he gets
Yeah.
into that deep. That was the
The
wrong
Bing,
album.
the Bing
to put
Crosby
that on.
thing.
Yeah, it just was the wrong album to put that
Yeah.
song on. It's a 99.9% perfect album.
Yeah.
But
What Bruce Springsteen song did David Bowie cover?
David Bowie covered. First of all, I'm the one that's supposed to ask the fucking questions.
Sorry. just popped in my head, man.
Why? I just saw this too. I am not bullshitting. I just saw something about this. I don't know what.
It's hard to be a saint in the city from first album. Greetings from Asbury Park.
Greetings from Asbury
Yeah.
Park.
All right. Well,
Ah.
anyway, sorry for the side road.
No, hey, listen, Lou, it's your show too, buddy.
An exit ramp on the rock and roll highway.
You feel free to exit, enter, stop for gas, whatever you want, Lou. It doesn't matter. You should know by now. As I think Lou just froze up. So, you know what? Let me see something here. I am going to do a little technician work here. Nothing like Star. This is live streaming. This is what you get. All right. Oh, Lou is frozen. Get a refresh. No? I don't know. I don't know. We'll get to him. So I guess we're down to number 2. I don't even know if you can hear me. This is, again, you're watching. This is live streaming. This is the shit you run into. He has a very low signal network connection. Maybe I should just have him log back. There you go. He's going to log back on in a minute. Yeah, just logged off. So, well, with that, now I'm flying solo, which I don't mind. I haven't done it in a while. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, you got to learn how to work with these things on the fly. Let me drink some water. That'll kill 4 seconds. That was good water. Purified water. That's the only water I'll drink out of a bottle. It's funny. You drink purified water, but you fucking throw a plastic bottle in the fucking trash. Kind of doesn't make sense, right? Not helping anything. Well, let me move on then. I will get with my number 2 is, drum roll, please. I don't have a drum roll. Everybody's favorite, Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets is a great song. It's still a great song. That opening, dun, it's one of the shortest notes for a song, an opening song, but it's one of the classic notes for opening opening of a song. Fuck, I can't even think what I'm saying right now. The opening riff for a song is that dun, and then you hear the fake crowd, right? Because it's not really live, but the way they produced it sounded great. Sounded great. And let me see, Benny and the Jets came off of what album? Uh-oh. Sent me a text. He said, Lou just sent me a text that says, fucking crap internet rebooting. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're in the sticks of South Carolina. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Fucking crap internet. He's rebooting. But the show must go on. Yeah, Benny and the Jets. That's where I was at. Listen. Hang in there with me, people. While I get these, let me see. I should know the fucking album, but, no. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, it's on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Why did I have to fucking look that up? I should know that. Since Yellow Brick Road is one of my favorite songs. Back to back off two songs off that album. Let me see what other songs are on that album. I think those are the only 2. And again, the thing about Elton John's albums is he when he had hits on them, there were a lot of them. But this one had 17 tracks. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road had 17 tracks, so he was fucking full boat. This came out in 73. This was probably his I would say his greatest solo album. It had Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, plus live favorites of Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding and Harmony. Harmony's a good song. I didn't even think of that. I don't know if that would be in my top 5. Maybe that might be 6 or 7. But Goodbye Yellow Brick Road was a slamming album. That was his launch. That album just launched him into the next stratosphere. And then number one on my list is, let's see. Fucking now I'm having technical difficulty. Going on here. One of those nights, and for the podcast listeners, just bear with me. Bear with me for a second. This is live. You're going to get it live. Da, 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 da. Yeah, my number one song from Elton John is Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Like I referenced earlier, off Captain Fantastic in the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Not Cowboys. Say Cowboys. Which is a great album cover, by the way, too. He had some pretty good album covers. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road was a pretty cool album cover. Let's see. Elton was not the best looking guy on the block, I'll tell you that. Well, I mean, better looking than Joe Jackson, who has a fucking face for radio. But yeah, Elton wasn't, but I guess for the 70s, he did all right for himself. Let's see, where are we at? So that was my top 5. Number 5 was Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters. Number 4, Sorry Seems to Be the Hottest Word. Number 3, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Number 2, Benny and the Jets. And again, another song, I just never turn it off when I hear it. Even when it's halfway through the song. Just never turn it off. And number 1, Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Evidently, Someone Saved My Life Tonight is, it's about him when he was younger and he was famous. And back then wasn't really the paparazzi. It was, though, you know, you had magazines following him around. And he became ultra famous, so everyone wanted to know, oh, why, you know, who's he dating? Who's he dating? You know, all that shit. Well, they had set up what was going to be an arranged marriage for him. Evidently, the record company was behind it. They didn't, you know, God forbid, back then he said he was gay, then that would have fucked everything up in 73, 74, 75. So a friend of his called him and said, fuck them. Fuck that. You don't have to do it. Don't do it. Just fucking tell him no. You know, because he was evidently contemplating suicide because he just couldn't, you know, he couldn't live that huge lie. That would have been a fucking a titanic fucking lie to keep in back then. The you know, the news people weren't they weren't as aggressive as they are today, or as the paparazzi was of the 90s when they just became fucking animals. But they were still aggressive. They were still aggressive back then. So he basically told them, no, I'm not going to do it. And they did a workaround. They did a workaround. And, yeah. And he wrote the song, Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Yes, sir. So what else do we have on the list here? While I wait for Lou to come back. Because I have lined up, I have concerts A to Z. Concerts A to Z. Did I fill the blanks? Did I fill them all? I don't know. I think I did. I think I did. So, what the hell? Let me start, and then Luke can play catch up. We'll get his last 2 Elton John songs. If he ever makes it back. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. So, I've seen, and I'm not going to name every group I've seen, just kind of the groups that came to mind. So, starting off with A, and A can actually cover A and B, but the first one, Anita Baker. I saw the alarm. But I put Anita Baker first because she was touring with the one and only. Speaking of David Bowie's Young Americans, Anita was touring with the one and only Luther Vandross, the fat Luther Vandross, which is the best Luther Vandross. But yeah, she was touring with him. I saw them at the Boston Gardens. I used to work there, so I got myself, Jim Hurley, Phil Kelly, and Joe McDonald got us in. We definitely stuck out in the crowd. That's all I'm going to say about that. But it was a great show. And at one point, we walked backstage. We somehow ended up backstage. I guess because I worked there. I worked at the Boston Gardens. I worked K9 security outside, so I kind of knew my way around there. We ended up backstage, and I think we were drinking their drinks and their booze, and we were just kind of like, all right, let's get out of here. We're getting ready to head into the city. And I think Joe Mack, I want to say he stole a fucking box of T-shirts. He picked up a box and we just walked right out of the Gardens, right out the back door. Literally the back door of the Gardens. With I think a box of T-shirts or something. I don't know. The rest was a blur after that. But yeah, Anita Baker, saw the alarm. Orpheum Theater, Boston. As the story goes, me and Jack, and they got off their tour bus at the top of the alley that led to the venue. They thought they were in the back of the venue, and the band starts walking down. Me and Jack hung out with them for a minute, got their autographs. They signed Jack's paycheck that he never cashed. So we got to meet the alarm. Those dudes couldn't have been fucking older than us. I think we were in our early 20s, probably 20, 19. These dudes were just as young as us. B would be Bad Company. First concert I ever saw. Boston Gardens. Again, saw a lot of these at the Boston Gardens. We were a spit hit away. Funny thing about Bad Company is there was probably like 15 of us. And we were in the balcony, but we wanted to get down into the press box. Now, the press box back then wasn't like a press box per se today. Press box was kind of a lower level to the balcony, like a step down. And it was for, the writers and reporters, and they could see everything. It was right at the center ice or center court for the Bruins or the Celtics. And somehow my brother Colin, mentioning him again, he was leading the pack, my older brother, and proceeded to kick everybody out of the press box that had tickets. We were fucking hooligans, and we all just took the seats. No one could get us out. We were assholes. A Bad Company. Yeah, hooligans. Before there was even a name for them. Mob. We ended up, like I said, sitting in the press box the whole show, which weren't our seats. I think the rest of the people just were disgusted. They left. So Bad Company. Then we'll move on to C, The Cars. One of the most boring bands I ever saw live. Great music, great sound, great everything. Fucking The Cars were The Cars, but they were not exciting on stage. There's not much going on in that stage show. You got the music, you got some walking around. Rick Ocasek like a fucking matchstick sitting there. That fucking dude was so skinny. I swear he used a tampon tube as a sleeping bag. That fucking dude is skinny. Jesus. Fucking skeleton with sunglasses. And a fucking big black wig. Creepy looking dude. How he married that fucking model is beyond me. Like they say, Like they say, you either had to have money or I think you can finish that. Moving on to D, Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode a number of times. Great show. Saw them in Southern California. Saw them in Massachusetts. Saw them in Miami. Saw them. One of the only groups I've seen more than twice. I very rarely will go see a band more than twice. There's a small handful that I do. But Depeche Mode, first time I saw them was in Southern California at this amphitheater. Same place where I saw the Eagles. I worked as security for the Eagles when they did their Hell Froze Over tour, like fucking 20 yards from the stage. I didn't even care about the fans. Smoke all the weed you want. I'm fucking here for getting paid to see the Eagles. But Depeche Mode was one of those bands where all of a sudden they play the song. You're like, fuck, forgot about that song. Shit, forgot about that song. Oh, shit, then there's that song. Yeah. So Depeche Mode, always great. I enjoy them. Great show. Dave Gahan is nonstop. Great front man, underrated front man. The guy has all the fucking energy in the world. Just does not stop the whole show. He is moving. Then moving on to the Eagles, like I just mentioned. I actually saw them at the Boston Garden for, I think it was the Hotel California tour. And then I got to see them, I don't know how many years later, 20 years later, when the Hell Froze Over tour. I saw them in Southern California. I was working concert security. I was in the Air Force. Side gig on security, and I was like 20 yards from the stage. And, yeah, boom. Free show. Got paid to see them. Actually, during the show, some dude wanted to smoke weed, and I told him no. He literally handed me $100. I said, smoke away. Smoke away. Smokey. Smoke. I'm just going to watch the show. And I ended up kicking him out. About 30 minutes later, he turned into an asshole. All right, I got 2 Lou's on the screen. I'm going to bring on 1. There we go. He's back.
Hello.
No, you got to fix that mic. Same thing as before.
Is your mic muted?
My mic's not muted, no. No, I'm good. Let's see. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Here we go again. Da 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 da. This is one of them.
Getting your sound. I can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me now? This fucking. You can't hear me? Oh, Jesus. How's this? I'm just gonna fucking. I know what I'll do. Hold on. I'll just. Yeah. This is fucking crazy. You can't hear me, Lou. Can you hear me?
I'm all over the place.
This is going to be a tough episode to listen to for the podcasters. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
I can hear you, but you sound like a tin can. And I can't even exit out. I can't even get off my own.
Hello.
I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back. This whole thing might shut down. Can you hear me? Hold on, Lou. Ay. I'll be back. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Can you? He still can't hear me.
Fucked up.
Ay, ay, ay. This show might have to be continued. This might have to be continued. I know he has to be able to hear me. Has to be. I mean, it's got to be him.
Hey.
Hey. You know what? Let me try something.
Hey.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it and see what's going on. Have to be continued. It's like that. I know he has to be able to hear me. Has to be. You know what, people? I am going to cut this one short, and we will pick this up next week. If this doesn't work.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
There's no sound.
They can hear me on this. All right, listen, everybody. I'm going to cut out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This just wasn't meant to be. It's an hour. You got an hour of entertainment. I'm just going to exit this out. I'm flying to Chattanooga tomorrow morning anyway, so I got to end this one. We'll see you next week. We'll pick up where we left off. We'll see if Lou wants to come back, and we'll get this thing done one way or another. I'll get through that list. All right, everybody. Have a good